So we are starting. So today's topic is DP or dynamic programming. So basically, first we will see what is DP or dynamic programming, what are its uses and importance, and then we will see a very basic problem on DP, that is Fibonacci numbers. I find the ith Fibonacci number. We will see two ways. One is the recursive way, and another is the iterative way. So basically, DP or dynamic programming is nothing but breaking down a problem into overlapping subproblems. So it's breaking down a problem into overlapping subproblems. For example, if we take the if we have to find the ith Fibonacci number, what we have to find first? I minus 1th Fibonacci number and the I minus second Fibonacci number, because ith Fibonacci number is nothing but the sum of I minus 1 and I minus 2 Fibonacci number. So this is the relation between the I minus 2, I minus 1 and ith Fibonacci number. So what we can observe here, that if we have the answer for if we have the I minus 2th I minus second Fibonacci number and I minus 1th Fibonacci number, then we can find the ith Fibonacci number, isn't it? It is just the sum of these two. Means if someone gives you if I minus 2 and someone gives you this, so you can easily find out this. If we have this two, we can easily find out this one. So what is the problem here? The problem is finding out the ith Fibonacci number, and the sub problem is finding this and this. So we have broken down this problem into two sub problems. So the problem is finding ith Fibonacci number, and for finding the ith Fibonacci number, we have broken down the problem into two sub problems. The first sub problem is finding the I minus 1th Fibonacci number, and the second sub problem is finding the I minus second Fibonacci number. So if we want to solve this problem, first we have to solve these two sub problems, and if we find the answer to these two sub problems, then we can easily find the answer to this problem, because it is just the sum of these two sub problems. So so that's what I was saying, that DP is nothing but breaking down a problem into overlapping sub problems. So for finding out this, we have broken down into two sub problems, that is finding the I minus 1th and finding the I minus second Fibonacci number. And now what do we mean by overlapping? Overlapping means let's say that for finding the answer to this sub problem, we again have to break it down into another two sub problems of I minus 2 Fibonacci number we have to find, and I minus 3. But finding the I minus 1th Fibonacci number, we have to first find these two and see that here and here the sub problems are overlapping. So that's what I was saying when I meant by overlapping sub problems. For finding the ith number, we first have to find the I minus 1 and I minus 2. For finding I minus 1, we have to find I minus 2 and I minus 3. So see that when for finding ith number we have to calculate I minus 2. Also for finding I minus 1 we have to calculate I minus 2. So some of the sub problems are overlapping in this case. For example, these two. So that's what I meant, that breaking down into overlapping sub problems. Is there any question till now?
No, Bhaiya.
So everything is clear.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
So now we can see that how can we do Fibonacci in a recursive way. So let's define a function fib I, which finds the ith Fibonacci number. Okay. So what we have seen, that to find the ith Fibonacci number, what we have to do? We first have to find the I minus 1 and I minus second Fibonacci number. So let's calculate I minus 1 and I minus 2. So for finding the ith Fibonacci number, first we have to find the I minus 1 Fibonacci number and I minus 2 using this function, and then we have to just add. So if we write the function here, it will be something like this. So if we have to find the ith Fibonacci number, we can just return the sum of the previous two sum. Now, what will be the time complexity of this function? Anyone can tell. What will be the time complexity of this function?
When?
Of this function. What will be the time complexity of this function? You can consider n equals to 4 and see that how many times the function will be called.
People had time compensation, right?
Yes.
Like this is the uh, most common question. Like we all ask daily when we solve problems in every CF round. This is the question we should ask ourselves. Like, should come up with the time velocity very fastly.
You can tell the number of times the function will be called. If you don't know what will be the time complexity. For n equals to 4, you can tell the number of times the function will be called.
Time complexity is O of 2 to the power n.
Yeah, cool. Like, can you just explain a bit?
Yes, you have
Like,
to
why?
explain also.
Every time it is calling a function 2 times, and after and for each one it is again calling 2 times. So it is like a branch type branching calling. For every call, it is calling again 2 times till the base condition comes. So like 2 to the power n.
Right, great.
Yes, you are right. Wait, I'm sure. So we were seeing that for n equals to 4, how many times the function will be called? So for n equals to 4, we have to first call it for 3 and for 2. For 3, again we have to call for 2 and 1. For 2, we have to call it for 1 and 0. For again 2, we have to call it for 1 and 0. So this 1 0 are the base cases, we don't have to call again. So see, it is like a binary tree, or it's like a binary tree where every node has two leaves. So every time we go down, we are the number of leaves are multiplying by 2. So for 4 we are calling it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times, that almost 2 to the power n complexity, because for every node we are calling the function two times. First time we are calling it for I minus 1, and the second time we are calling it for I minus 2. So for calculating every number we have to call it for two times, and so the time complexity will be around 2 to the power n. So since we know that it is not a very good time complexity, because if n is more than 20 or something, it will not work. So how we can optimize it? Anyone? Any idea?
Iterative way, it will be of O of n times,
How?
because we will run a loop from 2 to
No,
n.
we are doing it in a recursive way. Iterative way we will do a bit later. Uh, what we can optimize in this function so that the time complexity reduces from 2 to the power n to n, O of n.
Okay, like Anish in start like told you about the DP, like what are the properties we find in DP. So like
Remember that the sub problems are overlapping. So
yeah.
just what we can see here that, one second.
So what I want you people that to like can you recollect the things like actually like
What,
if you want to learn
what
then
you can see what you can see here, that we are calculating the function 2 here 2 times, 1 4 3 times, and 0 2 times. So how we can optimize that? We don't have to calculate 2 for 2 times. We have to calculate the answer for 2 only once, the answer for 1 only once, answer for 0 only once, because then every time we don't have to means call the function 2 times. If we means have to calculate just once, means how we can optimize this so that we don't have to calculate multiple times for the same number. Means there is no point in calculating the answer for 2 more than once, it will be the same.
where we can declare a variable, then add up to it again and again.
We can declare a variable.
Where like we can declare a variable and then add recursively. Will it work?
Okay, we are declaring a variable, then
Then
we
adding to
are,
the variable recursively with only one recursive factor, that is,
this is what you are telling.
no, I am saying let c equals to c plus Fibonacci I minus 1.
Let c equals to,
C plus Fibonacci I minus 1.
okay, then
Then earlier we declare C and then add it recursively. Will it work?
write the function and give in the chat box, or you
Okay,
can
okay.
present. Everyone should try that, how we should, means how we can optimize this from 2 to the power n to O of n time complexity.
what I want you people to focus on is like the two property which we see, like how we
Yes,
identify the DP in this problem. Like what are the signs that that makes you think that okay, this can be solved by DP. Then start like Anish discussed that overlapping subproblems and optimal substructure. So like
Yes, you should focus on overlapping substructure. Try
Right.
to exploit this.
try to exploit the part where like you see that you are
Anish,
solving the
check the
same
chat.
problem again and again.
Means there is no point in doing the same thing over and over again. So if we can devise some way that we have to do one thing once, then there can be some optimization.
Anish, can you
Anish,
check
check the chat.
chat? Yeah.
Array, we can make an array and start storing the values
Ah.
f0 of f0 to 0 and f1 to 1. And after for second index number, we can add two previous and go on to up to n. Where we have to find, we will make an array, and after this, for ith position, we can calculate the Fibonacci number.
Can you repeat? I means your voice is very low. Speak a bit louder and 1 second.
We can make an array of size n, where we have of the size n, where which we have to find of the Fibonacci number, and we can store at 0th and 1 position 0 and 1 the base condition of the Fibonacci, and from the index number 2 we can start filling the sum of previous two numbers. In this way we can fill up the array up to n, and for any index number we can find Fibonacci number by calling O of 1 complexity.
What you are telling, that's a iterative way. I am asking for the recursive way. Means what change you can do here. What are you telling is like this way, nah? Means if we are array I equals to array I minus 1 plus array I minus 2, you are telling this, right?
Yes, yeah.
This is the iterative way. Means this one I am asking for the recursive way. If you get, means if you understand how to make the recursive, it means recursive DP solution, then iterative DP solution will be very easy. So first try to make the iterative solution. Anyone, or else we can start with the solution. Roshan was telling that we can store the value. Yes, you are right. You can try a bit more.
Actually, like what Roshan just not
Yes.
best implementation, but the concept is
Yes, the concept is
exactly
right.
perfect. Like this is the concept we want. This is the option we wanted.
Roshan, can you
We
speak
can-
up and explain what are you means the concept?
We can make an array which will store that whether the answer has already been calculated or not, and then another array in which we will have the answers.
Yes, that's the right issue. Means that's the right answer. So what we can make a array, for example, let's say it's name the array DP. The length will be let's say we are calculating for 4, so the length will be 4, and instead of returning, we can store the answer for DPI here, and then we can return this. Now what will change now? Can anyone tell that with the inclusion of this two lines, what will change? Means previous code and this code, what means what will be the difference between the previous code and this code? Means this function and this function, what will be the difference? What's the basic difference between these two? Just calculate how many times this function is called and how many times this function is called. Just one. Calculate, you will understand.
This will be called n times.
How? Can
Because when
हाँ,
the answer has already been calculated, that time the function won't be called. So like when the Fibonacci of 2 has already been calculated, then
right.
that
Yes,
will
yes,
not
yes,
be
yes.
called.
So if we see this function, this one, now let's see how many times the function is called here. Okay. So we have an array here. First we have 0, 0, 0 and 0, 4 zeros, 5 zeros. Starting from we are starting from the index 0. So first I means dpi means I is 4. So dp4 is 0. So we are calling the function for 3 and for 2. Now 3 and 2 are also 0. So we are calling it for 2 and 1. And for 2 we are calling it for 1 and 0. Uh, s- uh, for 0 and 1 those are the base cases. So we are storing them initially. Dp 0 equals to 0. These are the base cases, means we can directly print the answer. So for 0 and 1 we already have the answer, so we can directly print the answer. 1 plus Fibonacci 0, that is 1. Okay. And dp3 will be 1 plus 1, 2. So see now that when this 2 is called, dp2 is not 0 now. dp2 has a value. So will it now call 1 and 0? Now it will not call these two functions. It will directly return 2 to 4. So this becomes 3. Now everyone has understood this, means this part, that why this is not called. Hello? Did everyone understand that why 1 and 0 are not called for the second time when we are calculating the answer for 2?
Yes, bhai.
Yes, भैया.
Because
Yes,
already we know the answer for 2 now. There is no point in calling the functions again and store means calculating. We can directly return the answer for 2 to 4 here. So number of times the function will be called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. So it's n. So if we consider from 0, so means we are calling the function for 5 times. So it's n plus 1, or it's basically of the order of n. So the time complexity will be O of n. Another way you can visualize that time complexity will be O of n is that you are calculating the answer for dp, means the answer for I only once. Means once you are calculating dpi, it is getting stored. So next time you are not calculating for the ith number. So for every number you are calculating the answer for every number you are calculating the answer only once. So for n numbers you will calculate the answer for n times, isn't it? Respond, anyone. Is that clear?
Yes, Priya.
So now Sonak will explain you the iterative way of Fibonacci. So if you have understood this function, then you can easily convert this function in this recursive function into an iterative function. Sonak.
Yes. You can turn on off the screen, Gary. Okay, so as Anish was saying about the DP, um, so dynamic programming is basically uh, a set of sub problems, dividing a problem into set of sub problems, solving each of the sub problems, and then going on to the higher ones. Um, there are two ways of solving dynamic programming. One is the bottom-up approach, and another one is the top-down approach. What Anish was teaching you was the top-down approach, where for each state you are recursively calling the smaller states. Whereas in bottom-up approach, the you basically first calculate the answers for the smaller states, and then you move on to the higher one. Generally, we use iterative approach for bottom-up approach. The difference is that the time complexity is same or pretty much same, but in bottom-up approach, generally you require more space complexity. But the one advantage for bottom-up approach is that there is smaller chance of messing up. You can easily, I mean, there is much ease in calculating the subparts using small test cases by hand. So you can easily troubleshoot your problems. As Suryansh Bhaiya said, DP is one of the most important things in any interview, in any good company interview that you will face in later years. You can be sure that there will be a dynamic programming question. A few days back, I was asked two dynamic programming questions in the same interview of Coding Ninjas. So and previous interviews also, dynamic programming was everywhere. So let us come with for the iterative approach or the bottom-up approach for this Fibonacci series.
Yeah, I can just add three more
yes.
points on like benefits of like difference between bottom up and top down. So usually like both have different profits. Like for top down, it's easy to visualize. Like what Anish visualized you like was easier. Like when you don't know problem and like when you are at initial stage, it's hard to directly think the bottom up approach. Like initially, I will suggest to people to grasp first top-down approaches because it's easier to visualize recursive solutions. Like in recursion, you just have to think about the current state and like how to find the current answer. And for applying DP, we just need to do memoization. So what we did, like making an array and storing it, like we called it memoization. I am just typing it, or like someone will like send you resources for that. So that's called memoization. So that's the profit. But for the profit of bottom up is that like it's a bit faster because we have less calls. Also, when you move ahead in DP, like there will be more advanced concepts like for state reductions, and I will say, like for example, when you have to optimize the space complexity and all. So there, you will feel that bottom up will be more handy to apply those techniques. So like in later, like I will suggest you people to switch to bottom up because complex problems needs you to solve in bottom up way. But yeah, like top down is still most useful. And even like whenever I get a new question, like for example in Google Code, like Kickstart, Code Jam, or anywhere else, most of the time we get problems which are really new. Like they're like it's hard to think that much that how do I build this bottom up. So I go with top down, and like that works like a charm. So top down still is hard, but bottom up, like learning bottom up will be important at later stage. So these are the two differences. Also, you will find places where top down is faster than bottom up. Like I got a question on lead code, I guess, in one contest, because like there's one benefit of top down. Like we don't calculate all the states. We only go to the states which we need. Like for example, I need an answer for 10, let's say, and it's getting answer like, and it depends on answer of 9, 8, 7, 1, like this. So when I need answer from like when 10 is dependent on say 9, 8, 7, 6, all the numbers till 1, then I guess bottom up will be beneficial, because in bottom up we calculate all the bottom states, not only one, all the bottom states from 1 to 10. But in top down we don't do that. In top down we do like what we need. Let's say if I have another DP problem where I have to calculate the answer of 10, and answer of 10 only depends on answer of numbers which divides it, for example 1, 2 and 5, then I guess here top down will be faster, because in that case I won't need to calculate the answer for 9, 8 or 7 in this case. So they, like, you might get a case where top down is faster than bottom up. So that's all I guess. Like Anish, Sona can continue.
Thank you. So for the bottom-up approach, if any one of you had computer science or computer application in your class 10 or class 12 level, then you have done Fibonacci problem, Fibonacci series problem, and you have done using this method, which I am about to tell you. So essentially you were all doing dynamic programming, but you did not know. So the main thing here is the relation. The main relation, which is essentially the Fibonacci relation, f of Fibo of I equals to Fibo of I minus 1 plus Fibo of I minus 2. That's it. This is basically the problem itself for bottom-up approach. For every state, we will go on in the iterative approach, we will go from 0, 1, 2, and we will get the I minus 1th Fibonacci number, the I minus 2th Fibonacci number, and then we will sum up the twos. Since in bottom-up approach, we are already calculating the smaller sub-problems, so you can essentially think that the I minus 1th and the I minus 2th sub-problems are already being calculated. By calculating means in the same way we will store it in some way in an array. So we can go for I equals to 1 to say n. We will just calculate Fibo of I equals to Fibo of I minus 1 plus Fibo of I minus 2. But there are two base cases, Fibo I equals to 0 and I equals to 1, which the base cases for Fibonacci is 0 and 1. Fibo of 0 will be 0 and Fibo of 1 will be 1. Will be 1. So now essentially for every step we have the previous two states calculated in this array FIB Fibo, and for every state we are calculating the present state, and which essentially will act as a sub-problem for the next states. So it is just a 3-line problem for the Fibonacci. So essentially dynamic programming is basically about the thinking, the procedure you need to think. The codes are, in the earlier stages, the codes are pretty much small, but the thinking is actually what drives us crazy.
Yeah, it's like code will be always small, I will say. Like
Yeah.
when you will see the DP codes, you will say, wow, that's so easy. But actually, like coming up with that is like bit tough. Also, I will say, like, don't get demotivated while DP. Like ever since whenever we have DP sessions, the number of people joining really declines. Like once for the first session 20, 30 people come, then next one like 10 people come, and like till third or fourth session only 4, 5 people comes up. The reason is that like they could not follow up, because this is not the one thing which I can just teach you. Like this should come up from you. Like for example, if you remember in the J time, there was like PNC, if you remember. So
Yes.
like PNC was the thing that that teacher can't teach you. Like only teacher can't teach you. You have to solve problems. You have to get the heck of that. The same is for DP. Like we alone can't help you. We can just tell you about one of two, three standard problems, but that's actually 1% of DP. Like what DP is like when you will see problems, and like when you will struggle for hours in the contest, and then you will see solution that okay, this was like this might be able to like break down to some standard problems. But yeah, what I feel is like that it is one of the most scoring also. Like even like Shauna Kanish can agree. Like everyone who is like who has good ratings, I will say, like they can agree that like DP is too scoring. Like when I click on submit, I am almost 95% sure that I will get AC in DP problems. But in case of other, it's not the case. Like in greedy or in any other technique, there are chances of failing. But in DP, like it gives you more accuracy. And as Shanak said, like in one interview, he get two questions of DP. In my Google interview, I got among 5 interviews, I 2 were on DP. Then in MS also I got DP questions. In direct I also I got DP questions. Like there's no interview where I didn't got DP questions. So uh, that's why so important. And the importance is that like you can't just read it up. You have to spend time. You have to solve questions. That's the only key to DP. Like you have to really realize the power. One thing what you can do is like put time statements and see like when you wrote the recursive solution and when you apply the DP, you can see the power. Like you will be amazed by the power of the DP. Like earlier it will take around 10 seconds and then it will take 10 millisecond. So that will the difference when you will increase. And so do these things a lot. Like that's the most important. Like we can only just and also like I will suggest you would like focus on the points which denotes that it's DP. Like for example, overlapping like sub problems and like optimal substructure. Like these two statements which I'm saying again and again. These are really important to catch that it's DP or not. So overlapping sub problems like optimal substructure means you can divide a problem in similar problems. For example, Fibonacci of 10 is Fibonacci of 9 plus 8. And 9 is like there's surety that Fibonacci of 10 is 9 plus 8. So this is a substructure which I can see. Then the next is like topological ordering. For example, the solution of 10 depends on 9 and 8, and 9 and 8 depends on the lower ones. It's not the case that 10 depends on 9 and 9 depends 8 and 8 depends on 10 again. So this is not the case. Like there is an ordering of the dependency. So this we call topological order. So if you see topological ordering, and like I can explain you more like when you will read about DP in matrix, like they will take the session on that. After that I can show you that like I can explain you more about the topological ordering. So if you see this point and then overlapping subproblems, like similarly like Anish draw the graph and then you can see that 2 was coming again in that graph. This is the overlapping subproblem, like same problem is overlapping and again. So identify that, and like one contest I have pinged here. So this is a contest when I was not doing DP. Like you will be amazed, like I also started like you people. Like I used to join sessions at my time. My seniors were taking sessions and like there were only two, like you were 20, 30. Like at my time there was only 4-5 people who used to join sessions. So we had this contest for 10 days, which I have in India. So at that time, after the contest, like after 2-3 days, there was mid-sems. So like I screwed my mid-sem, but in those 10 days, I have learned most of my DP skills. Like this 10 question, like the whole day we used to do this, like see standings and like strive to go up and up. And like you can see like one person got first, like Uncle Chips, like he's my classmate, his name is Ritesh. So he solved all the question in those 10 days. So actually, like I will also ask Anish and Shanak to create this type of long contest for you people. Like I guess like DP requires one of these long contests, and like whoever is participated in this contest must have learned a lot DP in this. Like, so you can go through this contest and like see the problems. Shanak, you can take it.
I was also recalling that when I was in the first year and Suryansh Bhaiya, Ankit Bhaiya were teaching us about the DP and other sessions. I did the first session, the second session, and Ankit Bhaiya taught us the Tower of Hanoi problem. And then I thought, no, this is not for me. The anime problem is too difficult.
Yeah, that's the case. Like, and like it's same for everyone. Like when everyone started, it was like ऊपर से जाता था, मतलब लिटरली सर के ऊपर से जाता था. तो आई गेस अभी तुम लोग के साथ नहीं हो रहा है बिकॉज हमने कुछ नहीं बताया तुम्हें, हमने तुम्हें सिर्फ होने की बताया, बट जाएगा. लाइक इट्स रियली टफ, बट थिंग इज दैट कि बहुत कॉन्सेप्चुअल है. मतलब इफ यू गेट इट यू गेट इट. लाइक अभी शौनक समझता होगा, जो भी जिसको भी आ गई डीपी अब आती होगी, लाइक इवन एक्सपीरियंस ही आएगी. मतलब आई एम सेइंग कि एक्सपीरियंस इज अ बिग फैक्टर इन डीपी. मतलब फॉर श्योर एक्सपीरियंस हेल्प्स. मतलब एक्सपीरियंस के बिना इट्स रियली हार्ड, क्योंकि इंट्यूशन बहुत चाहिए. मतलब दीज आर सिंपल प्रॉब्लम्स. आई विल टेक अ session after 4-5 sessions, or even say after 1 month. Like give time to DP. Like spend time on DP for 6 months. It's fine. It's fine if you're in first year and you're spending 6 months learning DP only. It's really fine. And like, I'm not saying just do DP, do everything, but do DP alongside. Like, and it's very, it's absolutely okay that if you're not getting it, it's absolutely okay. Don't get demotivated. That's the only thing which you need to remember in DP. Yes, Amit, take it.
Yeah, so we were thinking about the discussing two problems today, Fibonacci and the thief problem. But I think that we will stop with only the Fibonacci because we should give them time to think about the bottom up and top down approaches. What do you say, Bhaiya?
Yeah, right. Like let's go slow. Like let's only see one homework you people can do is like just submit this, and one homework, like if Shaunak and Anish are free,
Means
you
we
people
have
just-
a problem, we can give them as homework.
yeah, like just find the problems which are similar to Fibonacci. You will know like what are the problems which are similar to Fibonacci. You can
Yes.
get it very easily. So if you and we people can ping that those problems in the channel. I can also try finding problems. Anish, Shaunak, or anyone who finds the problem which is similar, like in DP. One more thing people use to solve problem faster. That is, there are around only 10-20 stand problems. I can say if I teach you 20 stand problems, every other DP problem can be break down into 20. So that's the key. So Fibonacci is one of them, one of the standing problems. So we can find problems which are derivative of Fibonacci, and people can solve it, like because like in DP we only can like मतलब हमारा रोल बहुत कम है, तुम लोग का रोल ज्यादा है DP में. हम बस यही कर सकते हैं कि तुम्हें स्टैंडर्ड बता सकते हैं, बाकी सब कुछ तुम्हें करना है. इन अदर केसेस ठीक है, मैं तुम्हें बाकी चीजों में बहुत कुछ लाइक नंबर थ्योरी में तुम्हें पढ़ा सकता हूँ. दैट्स द थिंग व्हिच आई कैन टीच यू. DP I can't teach you. I can just try to give you intuitions. और द थिंग व्हिच आई एम एक्चुअली नहीं लाइक ओवरलैप, लाइक ऑप्टिमल स्ट्रक्चर ढूंढना सीखना होगा, ओवरलैपिंग सब प्रॉब्लम ढूंढना होगा. तो Fibonacci में तो अभी उतना इनसाइट्स नहीं मिल रहा है, बट आगे मिलेगा. लाइक इफ you will send problems, I guess, like will be better for you people. And do up solve prerequisite site for DP. I guess like basic complexity calculation, like what Anish ने बताया ना complexity निकालने के लिए usually DP का complexity कैसे निकालते हैं लोग कि states क्या है, मतलब हाँ मैंने बोलना भूल गया मैं, like DP में सबसे important होता है DP states. In interviews when you explain DP, you can't explain without explaining DP state. Means
अब भैया
state
वो मतलब सोचे थे कि मतलब इसके बाद बोलेंगे DP states और ट्रांजिशन.
हाँ ठीक है. तो अनिश दे विल कवर इट लेटर. ओके, इट्स फाइन. सो यूजुअली डीपी स्टेट एंड ट्रांजिशन सब होता है. तो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी निकालते वक्त ना जितने यूनिक कॉल्स हो रहे हैं, दैट्स द वन थिंग. एंड द सेकंड थिंग व्हिच पीपल मिस, इवन आई आल्सो मिस, एवरीवन मिस, इंटरव्यूज में अच्छे लोग मिस करते हैं, इवन कॉन्टेस्ट में मिस करते हैं, इज द लाइक जो थिंग एक स्टेट का कैलकुलेशन करने के लिए क्या टाइम लग रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन Fibonacci इट वॉज कॉन्स्टेंट टाइम. हम बस 2 Fibonacci फंक्शंस को प्लस कर रहे थे, दैट वॉज कॉन्स्टेंट. बट दैट्स नॉट द केस ऑलवेज. ऐसा हो सकता है कि एक DP फंक्शन को निकालने के लिए भी कुछ टाइम लग रहा हो. तो उस केस में लेट्स से दैट टाइम इज O of x. सो तुम्हारा टोटल कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी हो जाएगा n into O of x if there are n unique states. So वो ध्यान रखना. मतलब what I'm saying is like be strong on every other thing to get stronger at DP. मीन्स मतलब टाइम उसे निकालना आना चाहिए, देन कोड्स अच्छे से लाइक भाई तुम्हारे पास ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस होना चाहिए प्रॉब्लम्स का. लाइक डू मोर प्रॉब्लम्स, पार्टिसिपेट रेगुलरली इन कॉन्टेस्ट, एंड डोंट थिंक अबाउट लाइक रेटिंग्स एंड ऑल का भी मत सोचो. जस्ट ट्राई टू पुश एंड लर्न. लाइक अब सॉल्व करो. मतलब मैं लाइक ग्रुप बनते ही शेयर किया था 2 वीडियोस कि हाउ टू प्रैक्टिस, हाउ टू अब सॉल्व. तो डू दैट विल हेल्प. एंड लाइक यू ऑल पीपल कैन वी ऑल कैन एंश्योर यू दैट कि मतलब मेरे से ज़्यादा तो लाइक अनीश और शौनक ने ग्रुप किया है. लाइक मतलब if I remember जब मैं कॉलेज में आया there was no CM in the college. I was the first batch जो CM बना. मेरे बैच में पहला बार CM बना. ये लोग सेकेंड ईयर में CM बने. Like I guess this is a challenge जो आगे आने वाले 3-4 बैचेस को दे दिए इन्होंने कि can you become CM in second year. Like that's really a big challenge. So I guess और of course they start from zero. मतलब everyone, me और अनीश और ये लोग भी like I remember मैंने DP Fibonacci बताया, जैसे तुम Fibonacci पढ़ रहे हो ना वैसे मैंने Fibonacci पढ़ाया है. और मैंने भी Fibonacci पढ़ा है DP में. Like stay motivated, like spend time. Like जितना टाइम दोगे उतना अच्छा होगा. Like और the thing is like की क्या है कि अनीश और शौनक ने मुझसे ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स किए हैं, so they deserve to be CM. तो that's the thing, तुम जितना प्रॉब्लम करोगे उतना एक्सपर्ट बनोगे. So मतलब like how they are, like you can say कि भैया आप 4 साल किए और ये लोग 2 साल किए, कैसे CM बन गए. तो पॉइंट इज दैट मैंने 4 साल में जितने क्वेश्चन किए उससे ज्यादा इन्होंने 2 साल में किए। तो दैट्स द पॉइंट कि क्वेश्चन करने का बात है, तुम कितने क्वेश्चन करोगे उस पे मैटर करता है। आई गेस दैट्स ऑल। I'm just topping off like Anish and Shaunak can conclude. Bye bye. Thank you.
So we are means we don't have any more work for today, so we can stop. The link for lead code that I provided, try to solve means as much as possible, because जो तुम्हारा कोड फोर्सेस में इंटरव्यूज में जो क्वेश्चंस आएगा तो पक्का है कि उसका ही वेरिएंट आएगा। मतलब तुम उस जो
वही पकड़
क्वेश्चन
के दे
देगा
देगा।
नहीं, वही पकड़ के दे। अगर वही पकड़ के नहीं भी दे तो तुम ऐसे क्वेश्चन देगा, मतलब उसका आइडिया से सॉल्व होगा, मतलब उसको तुम इस प्रॉब्लम्स में ब्रेक कर सकते हो। मतलब जो मेरा सीनियर से जो मतलब जो गूगल में गया है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में गया है, सबको मतलब लीड कोड का वेरिएंट से ही मिला है क्वेश्चन। सबने बोला है कि मतलब वो लोग लीड कोड से सॉल्व किया था, वहीं से आइडिया मिला है। तो लीड कोड का डायनामिक प्रॉब्लम का आर्काइव बहुत अच्छा है, वो मतलब जितना मतलब हो सके सॉल्व करते रहो।
Yeah. So today we did a pretty basic one, Fibonacci one. Here it was, as Bhaiya said, it was all constant. You don't need to check anything. You can just blindly write the recursion relation. But in the next session we will do with the DP states and how
transitions also.
transitions from one state to
Means
another.
we will tell means how to approach or think about a possible DP solution, means a feasible DP solution when you get a question. And then so any questions?
You can also search it. I mean, you can do some homework. That would be easier.
Yes.
The thief problem on lead code only. Don't check the solution. It's a pretty standard one. Just see the question, think about it. What will be the approach? We will teach the exact same problem in the next session. And we are doing it slowly so that because DP is really hard on the mind, you know. So I think we should end the session today.
Any questions? Okay, so then we are ending.